Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back to the Right Mentality. I don't know what day of the week it is, but we here. That's all that matters. Okay. Um, Today we have another special guest. Now, I'm gonna try to pronounce it. I might get it right, might get it wrong. I don't know. If not, correct me, okay? This is Miss LaToya Williams, or would you like to go by Coach?
Uh, yeah, Coach LaToya, that's fine.
Okay. Hey, look, she like that. Okay. So we want Miss Coach LaToya is here on the Right Mentality. And we here to do what we do, talk about what we talk about. Okay. Now, good people, we got another special story today. Okay. Now, today's episode is depressed mindset. Don't think about the word depressed too much, okay? Because a lot of people dive into it on that and they want to understand depressed, why you want to talk about depression. It's something that needs to be talked about, but we're talking about the depressed mindset. Now, Coach LaToya, we're going to direct this towards all people in the world, but let me target one. Tell me, why do you feel today that there are many women in a depressed mindset?
Hmm. Yeah, so many for women, I think that this I will say it's a little hard for me to just specifically talk about women. But
I
what I
mean, we
will
could we
say
could
is
we could
that
open it up to everybody now.
okay,
Let's spit it out there for everybody. We don't want to just classify women. So let's put it out there. Why do you feel people today are in a depressed mindset?
okay. So I think that people today are in a depressed mindset because I think that a lot of people are in spaces or positions where they are sort of boxed in to a lot of practices and cultures that
Okay.
actually don't really serve them. And I think that this is something that you saw really during the course of the last 2 years, right? Especially in
Mhm.
dealing with this pandemic. People, right? That's why you saw things like the Great Resignation,
Yeah.
people coming to an understanding, right, that the a lot of the culture that has existed, right, and that they've just kind of mindlessly bought into didn't really serve them. For the first time, you had people who were forced to be at home,
Mhm.
and had they realized, like, wait, I can be at home, and I can also hang out with family, and
Yeah.
put a load of laundry in at the same time. Like, what? Like, this
Yeah.
is insane. I didn't know that this was possible. And
Mhm.
yeah, and so I think there is a small shift happening right now as a result of really having the opportunity and space to realize and sit in the fact that, like, wow, okay, what else about culture as we know it isn't serving me, right? And so I think that people are in this depressed space because they don't have the opportunity to really explore the things that matter to them. They don't have the opportunity to get to the heart of who they truly are as people, um, and not just who they are in relation to others, right? Because people like to think that we exist in bubbles,
Very true.
and that's not true, right? We are
Yeah.
relational beings, right? So much of our thoughts and beliefs are formed in relation to other people. And it's just kind of the idea of coming back home to yourself, right? And
Yeah.
excavating the parts of yourself that had been long buried by society and culture around us.
Okay, that is she specified all of that for
Yeah.
y'all. So look, I like it because the fact that you say that we are in a bubble, and to me, I feel like those that are in that bubble, they don't want to You know, you don't want too many people to get too close because, you know, holla, back it up, back it up, back it up. You might pop it, and now
Mhm.
you invade my space, and now I have to release everything that I had enclosed inside of this bubble. I have to give it to you, you. Like you have to give so much of yourself to so many people, but it's like now, let me stay in my bubble. It's just me in here.
Mhm.
I don't need to give my emotions. I don't need to give my time, my feelings to so many different types of people. Instead, let me just stay over here. But what is
Mhm.
that really truly doing for you other than you just staying by yourself? And to me, I mean, I ain't never seen a man with like 50 cats when he like 80. But you know, I feel like eventually you're gonna end up by yourself in that
Mhm.
depressed mindset and you're gonna be stuck.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
now I wanna let's take it to another level. What do you feel
Mhm.
like is a possible way? We got that bubble, but what is a possible way that we could rewire our mindset in order to get out of that bubble?
Mhm. So, what I will say for me, what has been huge is really just taking time to be alone.
Okay.
And I think not enough of us do that, or
Mhm.
not enough of us do so intentionally and purposefully,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to be alone, and
Mhm.
that sometimes has to do with the fact that people are afraid of their own thoughts and their own emotions, right? We are not really taught as a society how to emotionally regulate. And
Yeah.
so people are really afraid of being by themselves because of that. And so they seek community, but they seek community um, by way of get like social, for example, social gatherings like going to the bar or going to,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't really, it's fun, right? But it doesn't really do much for them possibly in growth, in terms of like growth, right? And
Yeah.
introspection. And so I think that has been really huge for me, and just kind of being by myself and thinking about my life and what I want my life to look like, what I want it to feel like,
Yeah.
and really being intentional about my pursuit in those things. And so I think that that is a huge component as well. And to circle back to community, um, being or having the wherewithal to say that I want to be in community, but I want to be in community with people that can support me. I want to be in
Yeah.
community with people that see me, and what have you, because that's been a huge benefit for me as well. And I'm someone that really had a hard time uh, being in community with people, even asking for things like support, right?
Yeah.
That's something that I was like truly struggled with.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, like doing things like that, right? Doing the opposite almost of what they would normally do.
That is a perfect way to do it. Like, and just speaking on being alone. Listen,
Hmm.
a lot. I feel it's so hard for me myself when
Yeah.
you bring yourself to think, like just thinking about being alone. It's like,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, your anxiety just like, I don't want to do that. So it's like you
Right.
call somebody because I used to do it. So like when I went through my divorce, I was so scared to be alone. I would just call
Hmm.
friends like, "Hey man, let's go to the bar. Let's go get something to eat." Because I didn't want to sit there by myself. And it was like I had one of my
Hmm.
friends tell me one day, she was like, "I don't mind hanging out with you or going places
Hmm.
with you, but my man, you got to learn to be alone." You have to
Mm-hmm.
learn to be okay being alone. And if you can't do that, then I don't think you're going to get too far in life. So, because there are moments that we
Mm-hmm.
need to take to just be alone and be to ourselves, meditate, pray, do whatever you need to do to
Mm-hmm.
come back to who you are. So being alone and taking that time, that's what I love to tell people, take a mental health day. Just take a day.
Yeah.
Just sit at home and do nothing. For me, that's a hard thing to do
Yeah.
because I'm always moving. But anyway, like take a day, do nothing, come at peace, do like a mini spa day at home. One of my friends told me
Mm-hmm.
that the best vacation that you can take is home away from home. Go out to the
Mm-hmm.
store, get some Epsom salt, get some candles, take you a nice hot bath, do a pedicure, a manicure for yourself, cook you a nice meal, watch a nice movie, like read a book. That's the best way that you can come back to being who you are truly meant to be. So let me stop
Mm-hmm.
talking about me. This
Absolutely.
is about y'all. Okay, this is about y'all. I'm sorry, people. I just get so caught up. So I just want to tell y'all everything. So,
No, not at all, not at all.
but
And
it's true.
to add to that too, right?
Mhm.
I often tell people like sometimes you just have to sit in the discomfort, right?
Yep.
There's something
Yeah.
to being able to acknowledge that
Mhm.
you are feeling uncomfortable, that you're feeling sad or you're feeling
Yep.
anxious, and just kind of sitting with the feeling and not forcing it away or forcing it
Yeah.
down,
Yep.
right? And that really is part of what helps us learn how to like emotionally regulate, right? Because we're able to identify the feeling,
Mhm.
right? And learn eventually to cope with the feeling instead of
Exactly.
avoiding it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's completely true. Like I learned that in school and in my grad school. Just acknowledging the feeling, knowing that it's
Hmm.
there, and coming to grasp with it. Like, okay, I feel this feeling.
Hmm.
Let me take this, whatever it may be, the feeling, emotion, take it and learn from it. And after you learn from it, grow from it. So that you can tell other
Yeah.
people, hey man, look, I know you sad, you depressed, you anxious, whatever you going through. Take a moment and sit there and realize what this feels like. So when it comes back again,
Hmm.
oh, I done been there before. I know how to deal with this. But
You
we
know
don't
how to
take the
exactly.
time. Yeah, we don't take the time to actually acknowledge that feeling or those feelings to say, okay, I'm feeling like this. You know what? Let me call somebody. That's that depressed mindset. Let me call
Hmm.
somebody so I can get out of this feeling right here and focus on something else. But guess what? When you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning, it's gonna still be there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
realize it, people. Focus on it, learn from it, and grow from it. Yeah. Coach, we talking about some good stuff. Listen, I need y'all subscribe, hit the button, like, hit the button, share, hit the button. I'm gonna tell you from here on out. Hit the button, hit the button. Now, let's dive. I got one more question for you because it's getting hot in here because we talking about hot topics. Okay. Now, Coach, self care.
Hmm.
When we in this depressed mindset, self care. How
Hmm.
can we relate self care to ourselves? Because we look at self care as so many different things, but how can we relate
Hmm.
self care to oneself?
I think the first thing that I think of when hearing that question is that self care doesn't have to be this elaborate thing. It can be if you want it to be, that's totally fine.
Okay.
But I think that there's some people who get caught up in the notion of like self care means like I gotta go out and I gotta get a mani and a pedi, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta get my hair done and like,
Yep.
and there's
Yep.
nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
If that is self care for you,
Hmm.
do you? But self care could be just like getting some of your favorite fruits and
True.
cheeses and making yourself, a snack, right? Make yourself some of your favorite tea, or if you want to, fancy it up, pour yourself a glass of prosecco, something. Putting on a face mask and just kind of, chilling in that. And but yeah, so I think that's the thing that comes to mind immediately, is that it doesn't have to be this huge, like grandiose thing that we
Yeah,
do. And it can be simple and accessible.
I like that. I really do like that because, like you said, we take self care and we emphasize it to make it feel like, oh, I gotta go out, I gotta get a mani, a pedi, I gotta get a face mask, I gotta go buy my favorite bag, I gotta go shopping. You don't
Hmm.
have to do all of that to please yourself with self-care. Like you said, you go get a fruit basket and come home and eat some fruit. Take a nice walk. The
Hmm.
simplest things could mean the most to anybody. For me, self-care, I'm gonna go watch a Marvel movie. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
sit here. I ain't even gotta go to the movies, but I can sit at home. I can watch a good action-packed movie for a good 2, 3 hours
Hmm.
and be content. Like I can cut my
That's it.
phone off and not worry about anything. So just understanding that
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
knowing, like, okay, look, you don't have to do something to take care of yourself.
Hmm.
A nap.
Right.
I mean, I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer of naps, but we don't take
Yeah.
them over here.
Absolutely.
We don't take them over here. I'm working on it. I'm working
Yeah.
on it. But yes, like the smallest
Yeah, I'm not
things.
gonna lie, it's a little difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a little difficult for me too to
Yeah.
like to take naps, right? And so it's something that I have to be really mindful of. Like you're allowed to rest. If you have to schedule it, like to like just kind of,
Yep.
turn off your computer,
Exactly.
turn off the phone. Like I like to tell people sometimes I keep office hours, right? Like after
Mhm.
a while, I might tell people, depending
Yeah.
on the day, hey, I can talk after 11 a.m. or
Mhm.
like I can't talk after 9, 10 p.m., right? Because you just
Exactly.
kind of want those windows for yourself. And so yeah, I
Mhm.
do keep office hours. um, but yeah, so things like that is important too.
Absolutely. I completely 100% agree. Now, good people, let's thank Coach for coming on here today, okay? Because she gave y'all some knowledge, she gave y'all some wisdom, and she gave me some wisdom, some words and knowledge that I needed. Because every person that comes on this show, I always take something away from it, and I want to give it to everybody as well as I take some for myself. So I can't take the cake and eat it too. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna get a little sliver. So, Coach, tell these good people where they can find you at social media, website, any. I done checked that stuff out. So, it's nice. Okay. So tell them where they can find you
Thank
at.
you. Yes. So you can find me on my website, yggcoaching.com, and also on Instagram at Your Greatest Good. That's YOURGreatestGood, Your Greatest Good. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Listen, we talked about some hot topics. We came in, we did what we had to do, and we gave it to them. Okay. So now, for those that didn't get it, those that didn't get information, of course, you always know I'm gonna put it in the description. I'm gonna add it in there. I'm gonna let everybody hear it, see it. Like I said, push a button on all the buttons. Subscribe, like, post, share, all of that. Okay. Always remember, keep the right mentality.